Yes, I know the wattage is ridiculous, okay? I know it sounds like a jet turbine when you're playing games, especially considering I have a blower style card. But I'm telling you, people are sleeping on the Vega 64. This is a beast of a damn card. It is insane. I paid 65 bucks for this card on eBay and I've never looked back. I'm running this with an Intel Core i3 10105, 32GB DDR4 RAM. The i3 has 4 cores and 8 threads, but man, the Vega 64 performs about as good as a 2070 in certain games. It's insane. I've undervolted it, done all that stuff, and I wanted to really show you guys how this graphics card performs today. I don't normally do videos like this, but man, I just thought this, for the value, for 65 bucks, I paid more for the Vega 56, bro. I paid 75. This is crazy, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into it. First off, we start off with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, running at 1080p medium with the FSR quality preset. We were getting over 60 FPS on average on this one. I thought this one was a very smooth experience. The only thing I was running into issues with these types of games running at 1080p is the CPU, so keep that in mind. I feel like it would perform a slightly bit better if you had a better CPU, which is why I normally play games at 1440p. That video will come next time. But Ratchet and Clank is getting an A from the Vega 64.
Yeah.
Only in nightmares do I dream of Forspoken, man. At 1080p high with FSR quad set to the quality preset, we're not getting over 60 FPS. The second we get into any actual combat, we drop into the low 50s, even 40s at times. It goes back and forth realistically. When there's no enemies on screen, as you'll see in a minute, it'll go over to 50, but it was okay.
Whoa. Boundaries.
Reasonably impressive, I suppose.
Reasonably? Kiss my ass. Yeah. Well, this doesn't look good.
Yes, something seems to have drawn the break here. But I expect you can clear it away with your powers. Give it a try.
Horizon Forbidden West is another one that would benefit from a better CPU, as you can tell, but yeah, once again we run at 1080p on the high preset with FSR set to quality. We were hitting over 60 FPS on average once again. This was actually better than the Vega 56. Obviously it's faster than the Vega 56. This was a really good deal. Once again at 1440p, the frame rate will be more consistent. I noticed VRAM was hitting over 7 gigs. Even at this setting, I thought this was pretty good. Normally I recommend capping these games to 30, even 60 if you want to play with an i3, but regardless, this is great performance. Here we have The Last of Us Part 1, the bane of my existence. No, not joking, that's Forspoken. Regardless, once again, another CPU issue here. We're running at 1080p on the high preset using FSR quality. As you can see, we are hitting over 60 frames per second. Once again, with the high preset, it's quite nice. As always, like I said, the CPU becomes an issue for this type of game. It's only because I'm recording at 1080p that you're seeing this struggle. As you can see, my CPU is completely maxed out. If it wasn't, we would be getting over 60 frames without issue. So just keep that in mind for this video specifically. I only wanted to do this because I do 1080p before I do 1440p, but yeah, this is obviously a great experience for the most part. When you don't run into demanding NPCs or nothing like that, you're going to get over 60 at all times. The Last of Us Part 1 is going to be really playable. It's unfortunate it's not as optimized as the sequel, which you will see in a second. Here we have The Last of Us Part 2 now, using FSR quality set to the high 1080p high preset once again, and you can see this is much more optimized than the first game, which is why I have them back to back, same settings and everything, an even bigger area, and as you can see we're getting over 70 frames per second. VRAM is higher at 7.5 gigabytes, but man, this is performing so much better. It is insane. My CPU isn't being pushed even anywhere as high. This is a great experience. We're able to get 1080p high FSR quality and get over 70 frames on a Vega 64. I paid $65 for this, dude. This is 2070 performance. This is crazy.
Any left? I don't think so. Good. Shit. You recognize any of them?
And next we have what I consider to be game of the year is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. So once again with this one we're running at 1080p on the medium preset. We do have TSR using for upscaler using the medium settings for that as well. This one can be a bit more demanding as well. It also is CPU demanding, but you need a good GPU to run this game. In certain areas you'll hit over 60, but for the most part we'll hover around the 50s. I think that this is an awesome experience. I played this crap at 30 frames per second, man, on the Vega 64, and it ran well. You can see in combat we are dipping down into the 40s. You probably will need a bit low, but once again this game is quite demanding for what it is, especially GPU demanding, but the CPU can also push it back a little bit. But yeah, for the most part I say that this is pretty good.
Son, here I come. Hang on tight.
Miles Morales has been added to the benchmark suite at 1080p on the very high preset with FSR set to quality. This one also performs like a dream. This is definitely a game you would play at 1440p. It is insane how well this runs. Once again, we are using over 7 gigabytes of RAM at 1080p. Just because we're on a very high preset, which is, you know, it's something, but the average is over 100 frames, dude. Like, this performs way too well for this, but, you know, like I said, the Vega 64, don't sleep on it. It is awesome. We're using about 160 watts of power, too. Listen, I can't complain about the Vega 64. It runs really well.
Mijo, ¿dónde estás? It's getting late.
Hey,
Mom! Yeah, coconut milk. Still trying to find it. It's been kind of, an adventure.
Are you running?
Yeah, sorry. Trying to catch a train.
Mira, mijo, no seas mentiroso. Grab the milk and hurry home, please.
Sí, ma. Te quiero mucho.
Yo también te quiero.
Now or never, Miles! We gotta stop him!
On my way!
We gotta bring him down, fast!
Yeah, what do we do?
Let us raise temperature.
Final Fantasy VII Remake is always dear to my heart at 1080p with the high preset. We're getting over 100 frames. Dude, this thing's gonna run like 120 frames the entire time at 1080p. I usually play this at 1440p. This is gonna be a really smooth experience. There's
You're
not much
coming
to
with
say about
us!
this
Nice
one.
and easy!
Don't think so.
Final Fantasy Remake is not hard to run, specifically saying, with any GPU, but yeah, the Vega is gonna crush this at 120 frames.
Who in the hell? Hands where I can see him!
Have fun.
Freeze! Move and we shoot!
Go ahead. Enough of this. Was never in doubt.
Drop the weapon!
You got this.
Yeah, what he said. You're coming with us!
Can't get surrounded. See ya.
Silent Hills 2 is a weird one, ain't it? At 1080p with the medium preset TSR set to the low, I was getting over 60 frames in certain areas. I don't necessarily like it, but you know, it was running somewhat decently. We were getting over 50 frames per second on average. I didn't complain about it. This is a very slow-paced game. You don't need more than 30 realistically to play this game, but this one is also quite a bit demanding in certain areas. It's not even utilizing my GPU fully, so there's definitely another issue around here, but I'd say that this was a smooth experience for what it was. We were getting over 50. We could go lower to get higher, but for the Vega 64, once again, an old graphics card, and the wattage isn't the worst thing in the world for these types of games, which is the main thing for the Vega because of the wattage. For this performance, I'd say it's okay. As long as I'm not hitting around 200 watts, I'm good. And finally, we have Dead Island 2 at 1080p, very high with texture set to high. We were getting over 100 frames per second once again. It was insane. Dead Island runs really well. I always said Dead Island 2 was a very optimized game when it came out. Well, when I first got it anyway, and I was like, damn, this is great. And yeah, it lives up to that hype every single time. We're gonna go outside in a second, but yeah. This one actually does push up the wattage into the 190s at certain areas, but look, as we go outside now, we've dropped into the 80s. The 80s playing Dead Island 2 is awesome. It's a game that you can play at 1440p, that you probably should play at 1440p. We're not even using 7GB of VRAM. But hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and stick around for more epic content. What did you think of the Vega 64? You know, did you enjoy seeing content like this, seeing what the Vega 64 could do? We want to do a more in-depth video on this later on down. I just wanted to get this one out just to show you guys, hey, the Vega 64, guys, is awesome for its value. At least when I got it for 65 bucks. I'll see you guys next time.